At the moment, electronic music artists are definitely not paid fairly. Come on, you know, there's so much electronic music being played. The scene is bigger than ever. There's more DJs than ever. There's more clubs than ever. There's more people on the dance floor than ever. And there's longer nights than ever. And that money is still going into a big black box where nobody really knows who it should go to.
A performance right organisation forms an important bridge between music users and music creators. It will offer a licence fee, for example, to a nightclub and then distribute that money against the musical works that are actually performed at that venue.
The fee's calculated on the size of venue that you are, the turnover that you have, the number of people that come through your door.
The distribution is based on what we think is being played in nightclubs. The DJs have an opportunity to submit what we call a performance report via our system, but the number of DJs that actually use that system is very, very low, around 7%.
If you're a busy DJ, there's no way in the middle of your set you're going to write down, I played this record, I played that record, it was on this label, this was the artist. You just haven't got time to concern yourself with such things.
When there is money that's unattributed, it actually gets paid out to the people who've already been paid.
Much of it isn't necessarily belonging to larger copyright holders. Much of it is bedroom DJs or it's emerging talent.
I'd say the biggest track that I've had would be Low Frequency. Someone told me in Ibiza they'd walk from the top to the bottom of the West End and they'd heard it like 6 times from 6 different venues. I should have seen a return thinking about it, but I never have.
In 2001, we had an amazing year. Roger Sanchez, Another Chance, Kings of Tomorrow finally, Guitar G, which was a massive club record in Ibiza, and across the world, globally. If the collection of data had been more accurate, I think we'd have seen a lot more income coming our way.
It's actually a perfect storm of miscommunication. I don't believe there's necessarily any malice from any parties. It's very, very inefficient.
And so we need to use the very technology that we depend on to help facilitate the direct transfer of that information in the moment it's played. KUVO and RADR already relay in real time all the information that we need.
It's one of the very small number of tools that can report the music that's played in clubs to the performing rights organisations and collection agencies around the world.
It takes the responsibility away from the DJ, away from the nightclub. It's a fantastically seamless process.
For a year we trialled KUVO in a number of venues, and we also set up KUVO alongside some music recognition technology devices to compare the data. We were surprised at how good the metadata was at such an early stage. The music industry over the last 10 years has changed dramatically. The move to digital and to now services such as Spotify and Apple Music means that artists can't rely on selling records anymore as their primary source of income.
Over the years working with my record company, I've seen so many artists create incredible music and tracks, but not all of them actually were able to sustain their careers.
The DJs that don't produce tracks, a good reason for those to sign up would be just basically to help and support, the artists you're playing.
All supporting the music industry as a collective, as a group.
Every event that we produce is populated by our artists, our DJs, our producers. If the information is collected by KUVO, we should be able to see some revenue coming back our way.
People think you have records in the chat. You don't actually make as much money as you actually think. Had KUVO been around when Low Frequency was at its peak, I would have seen, a much better I would have seen a financial return.
We're not talking about raising new revenues. We're talking about a pool of money that already exists from nightclubs. The goal is to distribute that money back to the right copyright owners. You don't need to be signed to a label to get royalties from a performance right organisation.
Producers and writers should always make sure that their songs are registered with the Performing Rights Society.
If your song isn't registered, it's not going to be identified when it comes to a distribution.
It's incredibly easy. All you need to do is just sign up to the PRO.
It's as easy as going to the website, entering your details and registering any original works that you've created.
And then just twice a year, you'll get a nice email with a bank transfer or a cheque.
You only need to be a member of one society and register your work once. We want to see the societies around the world doing what we're doing and forging ahead with new technologies so that that work is properly distributed on. Because it reads metadata directly from the CDJs and the memory stick, if the metadata doesn't properly identify the tracks being played, it's of no use.
So that from your demo to your promo to your first release, every time contains as much information as possible about the artist, the writer, and the data like an ISRC code or ISWC, which are the unique identifiers that say, I know what this piece of music is.
And that's how KUVO will really take that next step.
DJs are absolutely critical to ensuring that we operate in a get played, get paid environment around the world.
DJs need to put this on their rider. We, as a group, need to be responsible for making sure this information flows.
If the club doesn't support KUVO, they could insist that it's part of their rider.
We use KUVO and RADR together at the enter parties in space to make sure all the gigs, all the music was streaming directly to the PROs.
KUVO's so easy to use. You literally just go into Record Box, click a button, and then it's on. So you just forget about it, you go and play.
Traktor users are coming on board through RADR. Third-party products are now supported, and that will just increase as the technology evolves.
Just say you write a smash that is played in clubs all over the world for 6, 12 months. Wouldn't you prefer the information that comes back about that to be enhanced and accurate by the clubs all having KUVO installed? You should receive the money that's due to you for that kind of exposure.
The potential of this technology is actually revolutionary. Can we bring economics, money, creativity all together? The worst thing that can happen to an artist is to be in the creative spirit and mode in the studio and be worrying about money. They need to be free to go as far in whatever way they want to go. And if these systems can be put in place to fluidly, efficiently make money flow to the people who need it, to the people who deserve it, then we're free to create.